The interesting thing about cacao is that actually the fruit grows right out of the bark of the tree, as you can see here. And in this video, you'll go on this journey with me to harvest cacao. While I was in Ecuador, I had the opportunity to go with Adrian one day to harvest the fruit. And here I'm zooming in on Noe, his son, who is right behind me. We kind of had like an assembly line going. Essentially, Adrian would harvest the fruit. I would take it and then put it in the basket on my back, and then I would hand it all to Noe, who would then use a machete to cut it open, harvest the little cacao beans, and then carry it in a bucket along the way as we moved through the rows of cacao plants. Some of the fruits were already open because of, frugivores, animals that had bitten into it, and so you can just pour out the seeds. And here Adrian is looking for a ripe fruit to hack down. Following behind me is Noe. There you go.
Wow.
Ready to harvest. Here's Noe coming up from behind me. Probably very tired from a long day's trek. Little camera shy.
Listo. Ya, va a hacer video. Lo estoy cosechando.
Yeah. After that, we have to lay it out on this tarp for it to sun dry. This process usually takes about 1 or 2 weeks, and then after that we roast it over an open fire. So it's very weather dependent. You really have to keep an eye out on the cacao while it's out drying. Sometimes there's a lot of cloud cover. It often rains in this region here. So you have to be mindful, and when it rains you have to cover the cacao seeds and put it in a place where it doesn't get wet. Here it's almost ready. Adrian woke up at 7 a.m. the next morning to start roasting them after they were dry. It's really satisfying to watch, honestly. And yeah, you roast it until the shell can come off really easily. The longer you roast it, the more sort of bitter it becomes. So you don't want to overdo it. You don't want to char it all. And here's Adrian. So he would keep roasting different batches of it and bring it up to us. And then Doña Fanny and I would take off all the shells. And here my camera resolution was really not working. This is me and Doña Fanny working through the large pile. This is what it looks like after you peel the shell off. And we put them all in a bin. After that, you have to put it through this tiny little funnel thing, like a couple beans at a time, to grind it. And it turns into this almost peanut buttery paste. And that's essentially like what the cacao butter looks like. And here's me testing my arm strength, attempting to grind it. And Adrian was being very patient with me and trying to put no more than 3 seeds in there.
Moler café, también puedes moler en este molino. Maíz, arroz, maní, todo lo que puedes moler.
Lots of lactic acid building up in my triceps.
Gracias, señor Fanny.
¿Y la novena que quiere comprar es más grande?
Es más grande y es eléctrico, ahí no tiene mucha fuerza. Con energía. Eso es lo que quiero. No es demasiado duro para hacer. Queremos hacer bastante.
Pero ¿sabe qué? Ese chocolate tiene una extra ingrediente que es sudor. de sal.
Sale más sabroso.
Eso.
¿Y cuál falta mejor, este o el que haciendo en Bolivia?
Este, claro, porque es hecho con amor
Ah, ya.
y sudor y lágrimas.
Todo eso. Bueno, entonces toca seguir con esto, no hay cómo poner el eléctrico.
¿Todavía estás grabando?
Sí.
Avisará cuando ya no avance. Ayudarle. Con este ayudaba
Y
todo.
este está saliendo con gracia también.
Claro, todo sale ahí. Pues. Es porque está caliente, este así líquido. Pero cuando se enfría está muy como una roca.
¿Qué pasó, mamá?
Un ratito.
No pasa.
Bueno, me voy, Rebeca.
Chao,
Feliz
María.
viaje.
Gracias.
So I got tired pretty quickly, and then Don Mario came and took over.
Sí.
You can tell that he's a lot stronger than me, and he's just doing this with one arm. Doña Fanny is actually preparing a gift. So you take this sort of very moldable chocolate or cacao butter, and you put it into whatever mold that you want it to. So here she's sort of repurposing this cookie container that has all of these sections in it, and she was preparing like a gift here. And another thing that they do is they also use big leaves, and you can imprint the patterns of the leaves onto the chocolate, and then it'll dry, and then you can kind of peel a leaf off, and it creates this pretty pattern, and it also sort of just makes it more easy to carry. So here's the chocolate made with love. Hey guys! So as I'm here sitting in my bedroom reviewing the footage for this video and piecing it together, I thought it would be nice if I shared with you some of my reflections and thoughts, and just left you guys with some messages from yours truly. And I guess I'll start with this. So even though I tried really hard to document my experience through videos and photos, I really don't think that they can do any justice to the experience itself, and especially the people involved. And what I'm unable to show you guys is the intensive labor that went into just one harvest, you know? And so I remember that we did this harvest on like a Wednesday or something, and basically right after breakfast we went out and we started harvesting, and I was carrying this like woven basket thing with like straps, and we sort of had this like assembly line going where Adrian would forge ahead with his machete to harvest the cacao. At this point it was already like the sort of tail end of the harvest season, and then, you know, he would leave all of the fruits in a pile for me, or he would like throw them to me, and I would like carry them in my basket until it got too heavy, and then Noe, his son, would follow closely behind me. Those are my emails, and you know, I would, you know, give him the cacao, and he would break them open with his machete, as you saw in the pictures, clean out the seeds into the bucket, and then carry them. So we kind of had like an assembly line going, but it was really hot, very humid, and you know, we're out there for hours, and it's not easy, you know, like it's very physically intensive, and it just really made me appreciate farmers, you know. I think that we oftentimes just think of the end product that we get, you know, that chocolate bar that we buy from the store, you know, but I think what some of us don't think about is, you know, like everything, all of the people who were involved in in the production of this, you know? And so I think it's really important to just remember that and give them some credit and think about the farmers and think about, you know, how they're being compensated. So that's one thing that I want you guys to think about more. And yeah, I don't know. I think that this experience really was just special in that, you know, I realized like how much love and labor and sweat goes into something that I think, you know, we may take for granted, you know. I think for me, those like cups of hot chocolate, especially after having been through all that process, were even more meaningful because, you know, I was with Noe and Adrian and harvesting. Everybody participated in like grinding it slowly. That took many, many hours and days on end. Like from the time of harvesting, you know, there was probably a period of about a week and a half before we were able to even find the time to like roast the cacao. Like we had to leave it out to dry in the sun, and we had to keep taking it in because it kept raining or it wasn't sunny enough. So there's like a long waiting period, you know, and you have to be able to account for that. And then, you know, Adrian like woke up so early in the morning, the day that we were going to make the actual chocolate, to roast it, and he was roasting it in batches. So again, we were doing that for several hours, and sort of we had that assembly line going where, you know, Adrian was in the garden like roasting, you know, patiently the cacao over the open fire, and then he would bring it up in like small batches to me and Doña Fanny and Gabby, their daughter, and then we would, you know, just sit around and chat and like, you know, with our hands de-shell the cacao, and then grinding it little by little, like a few beans at a time. Like that was really hard too, but it was a very rewarding experience. And even when you're actually making the hot chocolate, kind of like the fun part, right? Like it takes a lot of patience, and there's just so much love and care that goes into making chocolate, you know? Like Doña Fanny would have to like stir the pot to, you know, make sure that the chocolate like gradually melted and, you know, homogenized with the milk and the water that she would add. And, you know, and then at the end, like after all of that work, you know, you're able to sort of like relax and like sit with each other and enjoy that cup of hot chocolate. Like it's just very nice, you know. But I think that from all of this, I really learned to appreciate values of family, of work, of hard work, and it really made me think about questions of, you know, like equity in the global market. So yeah, just wanted to leave you with these reflections, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Right now in New Orleans, it's very cold. It's like 40 something degrees, and I'm really craving that hot chocolate right now. So maybe I'll make some. I still have like a huge tub of it, but it's pretty hard, so I need to like hack away at it. But yes, stay warm, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye!